Essentials for shooting studio portraits. Studio portraits may look easy to do, but there are very specific things that great portraits have in common, and most pros are doing all 5 of these things. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 things that are going through a pro's mind when shooting epic studio portraits. And you won't want to miss the end, because number 5 is the one that absolutely makes sure everything else is working 10 times better than it would without it. So at least stick around for that one. Hello, my name is Mike Lloyd. I am a boudoir photographer in Silicon Valley, California. And if you've been watching my videos for the last year, you will have noticed something different. I have changed my lighting setup and I think it looks pretty freaking cool. So I got that colored light behind me on my purple wall. Looks pretty great. I'm going to have some other ones around the room adding little pops of color. So you're going to see me playing with new lighting setups over the next handful of videos. I'm really excited about this new setup. Going to be different than shooting on the backgrounds like I've been doing. I'm going to point right over here as if you can see the backgrounds that I'm referring to. Anyway, let's chat about some great studio portraits. You might think, well, lighting is probably one of them. That's part of it. And it's included in one of the things. So this isn't the straightforward, like, make sure you're shooting at a 45-degree angle and your ISO is your aperture ratio or whatever. These 5 things are a little bit different. And from being a PPA judge, so having judged print competitions, both online and in person, all over the country, these things are partially how you qualify for higher scores in competitions, but also just how to take better photos and enjoy the process. So number 1 is going to be impact. Number 2 is posing. Number 3 is expression. And again, you're thinking, duh, Mike, I know all of these, but stay with me because I'm going to give you a different way to look at them. Number 4 is considering what's in the frame. And then number 5 is that surprise that you got to wait for the end to hear about. Because again, that pretty much guarantees the rest of them are actually going to work. Okay, so number 1 is impact. This is the absolute number 1 thing we look for as judges when judging images in any competition. If it doesn't jump out at you, if it doesn't hold your attention, then great. It's automatically going to score lower. I really believe in, because it trumps all technical things. Your focus might be just a tad off or a little bit of motion blur. Maybe you didn't color balance everything perfect. If you can dial in all of those things, amazing. But if the image has impact, that's really where it's at. You know, think of Joe Rosenthal, I believe, was the photographer, and I should know this. I believe it was Joe Rosenthal who took the picture of the flag raising at Iwo Jima, right? No one's ever thought, well, I don't know, the ISO is a little bit high on that one. Did he accurately capture the motion, or did he get some motion blur in there? Did he want motion blur in there? Maybe he should have sped up his shutter speed. No one cares about any of that. That is one of the most iconic photos ever taken. So when you have enough impact, then everyone else is willing to overlook all of the other technical things. Doesn't mean you can ignore the technical things and just aim for impact, but impact is absolutely the number 1 thing. Number 2 is posing. And there is a lot of technical knowledge that goes into posing beyond just, what do I do with my hands? You know, if you have someone with their back up against the frame over here looking this way, that feels very different from someone on this side of the frame with their back looking this way, right? They're either moving into the future, they're moving into the past, or maybe I'm here. And that feels really claustrophobic. So where you pose somebody, where you position them in the frame is significant. And then with the actual posing, is it telling the right story? How is the person's body language? Are they open to the camera? Are they closed to the camera? What are they actually doing? Do you feel what they feel? Also, does it look flattering? That's another big thing. So we absolutely pay attention to every detail when it comes to posing. Turning the hands just that little bit, softening the fingers just that little bit, from here to here, or maybe here. Those little tiny minute details can absolutely make or break an image with the details in the posing. Number 3 is expression, and this one is huge. We have a huge responsibility as photographers to get our clients to emote the right expression. We can't just say cheese and not look stupid. So telling people to look a certain way, look seductive, look happy, smile, look cheerful. People don't know what that looks like. They just are, and their face does the thing. So we have to get them in that mood genuinely in order to get those expressions. If you're working with talented models who practice this kind of stuff, amazing. They're probably going to do it for you. But our everyday clients have no idea, and it's really, really important. It is just as important as posing the whole rest of the body. Because if the body is in this beautiful, soft, elegant, feminine pose, but then you've got this like strained look on the face, that clashes, it's not flattering. So we have to learn how to get people to emote genuinely. All right, number 4, what's in the frame? This is a big one. We have the option to shoot all the way out, to go 3/4, maybe a portrait, maybe it's a headshot, maybe it's lips down, maybe we're just going collarbone to the bottom of the rib cage. Maybe we're just zooming in on the hands. Maybe it's the hands going across the collarbone or across the sternum. There's a ton of different things that we can just focus in on, we can vogue, in order to tell different stories. So considering what's in the frame. Also, things like, I got 2 black curtains behind me. There was a chaise lounge back there, but it looked kind of wonky with my proportion and a 35mm lens on this camera. It made the couch look like it was barely wider than me, and I like to think I'm in better shape than, not being able to fit on a couch. So I had to move the couch. It's now right over there. And, light stands, chairs, everything gets pushed out of frame because anything else in the frame will distract from yours truly. Same thing when we're taking pictures of our clients. Because every little thing that ends up in the frame that we don't actually need there is just going to take away from the main subject. Number 5, you stuck around because you're amazing. You're about to totally dominate everyone else in the photography world in your area because you are here for the secret sauce. Number 5 is slow the F down. Because we get panicked, we get rushed. We're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't fiddle with my settings because my client's gonna think I don't know what I'm doing, and I can't keep moving that light because we gotta keep on schedule. But then you end up with a ton of photos that aren't great because you're panicked, the light's not really where you wanted it to be anyway, and then the client's not gonna be stoked. I guarantee you the client would rather you take 15 extra seconds to move a light stand to nail the shot and to free up your mind to just engage with that person. Like, that is going to win every single time compared to just leaving shit where it is and hoping that no one notices you didn't dial it in. So slow down, breathe. You don't need to shoot on rapid fire mode. You don't need 10 frames per second. You need one shot to nail the frame. And I got introduced on stage at Secret Knock a couple years ago, and this is the top entrepreneur event according to Forbes and Inc. magazine. And I, for years, have been photographing the founder of the event, doing all of his marketing photos. So I get up on stage to talk about personal branding, and he comes out to introduce me. And he's like, I have never worked with a photographer who takes so long to set up every single shot, but he gets it in one take. And people booked me at the end of the event for that because they're like, if you can do that in one frame, like pointing to the stuff that was up on the wall that I had taken of the founder, they're like, you got my money. I believe in you. So that is something that I am very passionate about. I didn't do that in the beginning, but I learned. Slow down, make the adjustments, move the fingers and the toes, move the chin over just a little bit. Make sure you get the right expression, your light's in the right place at the right settings. If you need to run in the background and move a garbage can behind a tree so no one can see it, go do it. Because you might think, I'll just do that in post. But then you've got 30 photos of the garbage can you're cloning out or using content-aware fill, or maybe that's just a sign you should outsource. But the point is, you could have just slowed down, fixed that in camera, and then not had to worry about it. You would have been free to create whatever sort of magic you wanted. And aside from saving all the time trying to fix things in post, that's really where the magic is. You are freeing up your mental bandwidth to focus on the things that actually matter. And that's engaging with your client, getting real expression, and making something artistic that people are gonna love. So slow the F down. So those are the 5 essentials for shooting great studio portraits. I'm going to give you a 6th, a bonus one. If you subscribe to this channel, wherever the button is, I don't know, but subscribe to it and you're probably going to start taking better portraits. I don't have any scientific journals that can back that up, but I don't have any that don't. So give it a shot. You could also head to boudoirguild.com, where I have courses in posing and lighting and mindset and business mastery and editing and all the things you need to bring in multiple six figures as a boudoir photographer. It also applies to all the other genres of portrait photography as well. You do seniors? Cool. It's the same stuff. Just every time I say boudoir, pretend I said seniors. I'd put more clothes on your seniors than in the boudoir sessions, but otherwise it's basically the same. And I've got some other great videos on this channel about how to find new clients, especially my ways to grow your business in 2023 video. Definitely recommend checking that out. You are amazing. See you inside.